This is Alan Lamb, the score 98 for 3, and we're in the 26th over. Well, that was Downton's call. Downton has gone a run out. Alan Lamb can't believe it. And really, you have to blame Downton. Although the ball went behind the stumps, Lamb was never in a position of composure or control. He had no start on the run at all and was left really with his back to the action. So that really was bad cricket by England. Downton goes, he scored 3, and the score now 131 for 6. Yes, that's a full toss, and Alan Lamb scythes it away. Lamb's first 4, and the score moves on to 186 for 7. Oh, what a hit! Full toss, and that went for 6. The fielder at square leg thought it was coming to him, and suddenly he looked up and over, and that went rocketing into the terraces. Well played, Alan Lamb. That was a marvellous hit. And, of course, in the situation, Raymond, a brilliant hit.
Yes, and it didn't look to have any real power to it. It just timed and gave it that bottom hand at the last minute, and must have been a carry of 90 yards. See it again here, just a bit of bottom hand, and you'd think he was flipping it away for 1, but that must have carried 90 yards. And England now moving on to 192.
That's Lamb's favourite quarter. That was a superb shot by Lamb, skimming over mid-wicket, rifled over mid-wicket. And again, you have to hark back to that famous over when he struck Bruce Reid of Australia for 18 off 5 balls. Four more. Brilliantly engineered by Lamb. And this is the point I was making. As he acknowledges his 50, it is the job of other batsmen alongside him, like the Freitas, to make sure he gets the strike. Superb round of applause for a fine innings, a generous crowd, capacity crowd here. And Lamb says, thank you very much for the full toss. Of course, we do have the 30-yard radius circles in this competition, so 4 West Indian fielders have to be inside that at all times, plus the bowler and the keeper. He hit it well, but Harper's there. Well, they had to run really hard for that. Roger Harper, such a stupendous fielder. Absolutely brilliant on the move and pick up and throw. But 2 more to Alan Lamb. 1 ball left, and England have taken 12 of this over. 221 now for 8, and suddenly that 244 comes into view.
Now, can Alan Lamb organise himself the strike? He'd dearly love a boundary instead, but England want him on strike at the start of the next over. There's 4.
Brilliant shot. Brilliant shot by Alan Lamb. Richards has to bring those men up inside the 30-yard circle. He chose to do without the 3rd man because Alan Lamb had already smashed it over mid-wicket. This is the perfect art of batsmanship under pressure. 225 for 8 then. There are 12 balls left, and there are 19 runs to win. This is the occasion when my maths goes completely, so Wendy Wimbush is keeping a very careful eye on pen and paper here as Patterson bowls to Lamb. Flicked away down leg side. There's a man down there. 1 run only. Lamb wants 2. 16 runs required off 9 balls. He's hit it, but Harper's there, deep backward square leg. They won't want to take on Harper, and they don't. 15 balls, 15 runs off 8 balls. And if there were instructions coming from the pavilion, they'd be from Gladstone Small, who's the one man waiting to come in, and he'll say to Foster, stay there. Oh! Ambitious shot, close to the stumps. 6 balls left. England need 13 runs to win the match. 231 for 8. A gripping match yesterday at Hyderabad when Sri Lanka went down by only 15 runs to Pakistan, and now England 231 for 8 require 13 runs off 6 balls. These to be bowled by Courtney Walsh. He has to keep those 4 fielders and himself and keeper inside the 30 yards. Runs in both to Lamb, who whacks that away to deep mid-wicket, his favourite spot, which is now guarded. Foster must run and slide in his bat, which he does. 2 off the first ball. 11 runs required off 5. This is even a test for the impartial crowd. Well, extraordinary. Oh yes! Oh yes! The Yorker became a full toss. Lamb was waltzing down outside leg stump. A very awkward bounce for the fielder, who dived valiantly. I don't know why all this description. All I mean to say is England got 4. 7 runs required off 4 balls. 237 for 8, the England score. Allan Lamb is 66. And Courtney Walsh is not enjoying it. And who would blame him? What pressure on him too. Down the leg side, 4 wide, 4 wide. So the extra ball comes as well. 3 runs required off 4 balls.
Well, West Indies in some disarray now. Viv Richards going to have a word with Walsh, calling a fielder in perhaps. The great virtue of Lamb is that when he was struggling at the start of his innings, he kept ticking the scoreboard over. When the final onslaught was needed, he was the man to light the blue touch favourite. My word, how well he's done it. 3 balls wanted, 3 runs off 4 balls.
A no ball called. A no ball called and 1 run taken. Poor Courtney Walsh. Well, no one is immune from these sort of pressures, and Courtney Walsh himself is a young bowler.
I think the unfortunate thing there, Tony, there was no need for Allan Lamb to have taken the run, because he would have got the single, the score would have still been +1, and he would still have been on strike. But by taking the single, but still, who can quibble at anything that's happened in this marvellous game of cricket?
Now Foster probably realises, my word, what am I doing down this end? I really could have stayed there all the time, and we'd been in the same position. But Neil Foster can play straight, clearly giving it some thought. 242 for 8. 2 to win for England, beat the West Indies in their first World Cup encounter. West Indies had played it so tight, it's taken extreme brilliance by Lamb to get us to this position. It's in the gap, it's there, well played, Foster. And down go the heads of the West Indians. They played it so well, but were taken by the brilliance of Lamb. And see how Richards is the first to shake Lamb's hand. What entertainment this crowd have had. Jack Bannister will quickly tell me not only how it was done, but by how many it was done. One ball, I think, left in the end.
Well, I think it was more than that with the no balls and wides. There were 3 to spare, but as to how it was done, that's slightly more difficult, because all the way through, from when England lost their 6th wicket at 131 and then their 7th at 162, when John Embury was bowled by Patterson for 22 in the 40th over, how could England get 82 off the last 10 overs? Well, the answer lay with Allan Lamb and De Freitas. He came in and swung well for 23. That took it on to 209 for 8. But even when he got out in the 47th over, it still looked a lost cause. But Allan Lamb, 16 in a key over off Courtney Walsh, and finally applying the coup in the last over to bring off a marvellous win.
Well, it was a stern and rather disappointing start to the England innings. Chris Broad went early for 3, and Robinson was run out for 12 in rather unnecessary fashion. Then there was a good stand, 58 in 9 overs between Gatting and Gooch, and one felt that England were really on their way, especially as Carl Hooper was the in-between bowler, the 5th choice for Viv Richards in his lineup, and everyone thought, well, this is the chance for runs. Not so. Hooper took 3 most important wickets of Gatting and Gooch and Pringle, and England was suddenly reduced to 123 for 5. Downton was then run out for 3. Embury out for 22, 162 for 7 of 41 overs, and it really all seemed over. Then Philip de Freitas joined Allan Lamb, put on 47, and Allan Lamb it was who streamed ahead with a series of brilliant strokes, especially at the death against Courtney Walsh. Remarkable batting, 82 came off the last 10 overs. Not surprisingly, the man of the match to great acclaim here at Gujranwala was Allan Lamb. So England have won their first match in the World Cup by 2 wickets with 3 balls to spare.